Papa Hotel Tango India Link, Palm Springs Tower, Squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Link, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, requesting straight in for 13.
That's available.
Ever departure of Papa Hotel Tango India Link, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Link, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, plus 4658 is type PC final slam call, request clearance to Vegas S file.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be full route standby. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Cresso, join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3, initially climb 7 plus expected 025, departure 167, squawk 6 plus switching side.
Plus 4658, three back is correct. Tango India Link, taxi to the ground via Echo and frequency.
Fixing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Link.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic, left downwind, runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind 26 left, report your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242, on the visual for 20 right, returning for right base starting.
United 242, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, to the right, land.
Near 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
6 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground plus 4658 is traffic with weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the island.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, low approach, runway 9, next week north.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go trail right at Prague.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Shift take out trail right plus 465.
Near 0 Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha. Plus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking base.
Push 7 Charlie Alpha, and on this frequency, taxi to the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
November 2903 Alpha, going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed.
November 2903 Alpha, going missing.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying public mid-approach procedure, November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure, November 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left. Or 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 runway. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear to be active at uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on south ramp via Sierra. Remain on this frequency.
Via Sierra on this frequency, 6 Delta.
Riverside Tower, November 2903 Alpha, Riverside route, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha request taxi to the transient partner.
Number 2903 Alpha Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Just stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold stroke point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha. Rocket. November 2903 Alpha.
Runway clear. Runway clearance. November 6th. Charlie Mike Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike Jolly clearance. Good evening. Good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo.
That's Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo. 62 Mike.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through. I'll let you know.
Las Vegas Tower, plus 46589, usual 1 on the right, 4500.
Plus 4658 Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land, 1 on the right, 465.
Plus 658 exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel. Remain on this frequency today.
Exit right, ramp via hotel, ramp frequency 58, 465.
Ground number 953 Whiskey Alpha's Piper Comanche PH4/Alpha. Like taxi be active VFR east departure with weather.
Calling Long Beach Ground, need you to verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound and east ramp just south of runway 25.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger. Runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo, ready for departure VFR east.
Around 16 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right down departure.
Clear for takeoff 25 right, right down with departure 6 Whiskey Alpha.
Good day, Palm Springs. Ground scanning double Delta. East Red, India. Close traffic. 31 right.
Papa Hotel Tango, to Mike, Palm Springs, ground, say good aircraft type.
Gray Cessna scan.
Skyline Tango, to Mike, thank you, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo. 31 right. Double Delta.
We're center 791 Juliet, Torrance ground left.
Okay, Sky 791, we see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground. Just say your intentions.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet, type Cessna 172 on the south Angus with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to
Number 791 Juliet, roger, departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1249, that's 2061.
Got 991 Juliet, read back is correct, are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just gotta go and get started. Sky 791 south Angus,
Sky 791 Juliet, roger, runway 29 right. Taxi via hotel, correction, taxi via Alpha in Juliet.
29 right taxi by Alpha and Juliet, Sky 791.
Palm Springs Tower, scanning double Delta. Mike is holding short runway 31 right. Bravo. And ready for departure. Close traffic.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. It's finally time for the almighty I-10 rating. Man, it's gonna get tough today. And to even add on the toughness, I'm gonna fly or attempt to fly and successfully complete the I-10 rating in IMC in the dark with no autopilot and no GPS. So since I haven't failed so far for any of the I ratings. So again, to really make it an authentic IFR flight and also to further up the challenge, I think this is quite necessary. So the risk of me failing today is actually pretty high. Also feel a bit tired. So this is really going to get exciting, I hope. Hey Kim, good to see you, scampers. It's up. Marcus noticed you only have up the I6 in your record. That's not true. I've completed the I7 and the I8. So scampers, let Marcus know that I should be ready. I haven't checked my my record though, but there's proof on the on my channel, obviously, if you look at my videos. Beach, good to see you. Bill here. Oh, Bill, you've changed your name. Beach Dog. Beach Dog. All right. Should be good IFR here now. Taxi, hey, good to see ya. Thanks for the good luck wishes. It's going to get tough. He's looking into it. Roger. Kim, well, I see the same on the website. Oh, that's weird. Well, again, I got the proof. And I remember Joe was the controller. He also mentioned to me that I passed and that I think the I rating was also processed as well, but I'm not quite sure. Perhaps that was for the I6 then, that he said, well, Tim, wait before you disconnect. But I should be okay. Well, meanwhile, if that's a problem, yeah, we're going to fly it anyhow as a practice approacher. Otherwise, just video it and I can send the stream to Keith or the PilotEdge management. I think that will be just fine. I'm really looking forward to do the I-10. So here we are, guys. Again, Santa Barbara. It's a very complex flight. It's really interesting. You also hear some rain. I also put some rain in. I downloaded the real world weather and just added a huge stratus overcast cloud layer from 2,000 feet MSL up to 9,000. So it's going to get interesting. And some rain, but the usual winds. I don't know what the winds are, but we'll have to see. And the flight, well, we're going to depart from Santa Barbara, do the Flout 5 departure, a SID. That will bring us all the way up to the San Marcos Vortex, which is over here. And that is actually the initial approach fix for the localizer backcourse alpha approach into Santa Maria, which is actually officially our destination. However, as part of the I rating, we're gonna go missed for the first time, and this time at Santa Maria, and we're gonna go to Guadalupe. Well, it's really hard to see here on the chart. Perhaps I can change it here. Yeah, and go into a hold, fly a few holds, and set ourselves up for a diversion to our alternate, which I filed as San Luis, also part of the rating, which is a little bit up north, and we're going to negotiate then a diversion to San Luis and fly the VOR Alpha approach into San Luis with a circling approach. It's going to be so interesting. A lot of risk here to mess things up. So yeah, this is the real stuff. So let's see if I am prepared enough to complete this I rating, guys. I'm really excited. Okay, so that's in terms of the map. The kind of routing that we are going to take. So the only thing that I filed actually is the Flout 5 San Marcos transition. That's the only thing that I filed because that will bring us right to the initial approach fix, and we're going to request the localizer backwards alpha approach into Santa Maria. So that's just it. And the whole alternate diversion part is not part of our flight plan, but it's just well, us acting like we are diverting to our alternate. Charts. So yes, here we are at Santa Barbara. I'm currently parked there in the middle of the red circle. That's the Atlantic FBO. So most likely, usually we're going to get assigned 2-5 for our departure. And so it's going to be a very basic, taxi, I hope. This is departure, the Flout 5 departure, again assigned by PilotEdge as part of the I-10 rating. So what's the deal? Well, here you can see the Santa Barbara airport. So initially we're just going to depart. If it's going to be runway 25, we're going to depart this way, obviously. And we need to catch this radial and fly to Flout, an intersection, then turn around, capture the same radial again, but then overfly the field all down to San Marcos, which is then the initial approach fix for Santa Maria. Now, something that I noticed only when I looked at this chart the second time is this. Usually when the first time when I was looking at this departure, I thought, oh, okay, so I need to fly 11, I need to look at my DME, look for the 11, and once we hit 11 nautical miles away from the San Marcos vortex, I'm gonna turn around. But no, as is very clearly depicted, but I didn't spot it, that's the distance from the airport. We need to look at the distance from the vortex, right? So that's a something really important to note. We also need to cross 6,000 here at this radial at Gaviota. I think with our 172 we will manage to get there in time. Let's hope that we do. Obviously we can just calculate that, but I think we'll be fine. So yeah, a very basic actually departure. Next up is then the localizer back course approach. And the alpha already shows you that there's something amiss, I guess, something not default-like of this approach. Now, if you look at the angle, the particular angle here that we're coming into the runway, we're actually pretty much aligned, so I guess that's not the issue. I guess it has to do with the vertical path, or perhaps just because it's a back course approach. I'm not quite sure. Either way, it's going to be a bit different, and that's always, if you see a letter there mentioned, it's always good to have a closer look at your approach. So in this case, we're coming in from San Marcos, again, that same vortex, the Flout 5 San Marcos transition. And we're going to fly all the way down this. Also, I've already flown this particular approach a while ago as part of my back course approach practice, but that's already a long time ago. So again, this approach feels new to me. And then we're going to hit Cokes, and as part of a non-precision approach, we're going to go down stepwise and hit Santa Maria, at least, partly because around our missed approach point, we are going to go missed. And that's the first time when we're going to go missed, which is not really a big deal technically, I think. Perhaps it's most difficult because we're going to do that missed, and while we're going missed or in the hold, we need to prepare for our diversion to the Santa Maria, to the San Luis airport. So we need to fly holds and do other stuff, which is always great as part of IFR flying or VFR flying as well, just to multitask and do multiple things at the same time. Now, as part of this approach, well, it's a back course approach, so because we don't have an HSI, this means that once we're going to fly on the NAV1, it's going to mean reverse sensing. So, I don't know if you guys can see, can I put some flashlights on? Yeah, so when the needle moves to the left, usually we would also need to go a bit to the left, right, to catch the needle. Well, with reverse sensing, because it's a back course, the localizer, we're at the back end of it, we need to actually do the opposite thing. We need to fly to the right, which is quite contradictory, not counterintuitive, so we need to be very, very wary that we are actually flying that back course approach. And well, obviously the architects of this instrument approach also know that that might be some risk, or a risk for us to make that mistake, so it's mentioned everywhere: back course, back course, back course, back course. So reverse sensing, so that's going to be interesting. Also, something I only spotted the second time or the third time, because I've already flown this chart or this approach a while ago, is this little chunk. So this is not to scale, but usually here, once we reach San Marcos, we're going to continue this approach. We still need to be at 6,000 or above for 14.9 nautical miles. And then once we cross Madu, then we are going to move on and descend further down if we are cleared for the approach. Cokes again, we're gonna go in until we are missed. Well, what is the missed approach procedure? Not that difficult. We need to go straight ahead to the Guadalupe vortex, which is quite nearby the airport actually. Go to 2100, if not or we're not assigned another altitude, 2100, and we need to enter this particular hold. Well, we're coming from this direction, so yeah, it seems most sensible to do a parallel entry. So we turn around here, and then we're making turns. Also, as part of the I-10 rating, we need to do at least one full lap. So not just an entry, but one entire lap, which we could also spend on prepping ourselves mentally for making a diversion, shifting to the San Luis VOR Alpha approach. So, and this is all something that we need to negotiate while we're flying and setting up new frequencies and stuff. So again, exciting. High risk, higher probability of failure, guys. It's going to get exciting. So yeah. And so, yeah, once we're in that hold, hopefully, once we are able to reach to that point as far in the rating, we need to go to San Luis, further up north, I guess. And that's this approach, the VOR or TACAN. It's an old device-y thing. VOR Alpha approach, San Luis. Yes. So yeah, and that's, again, as the name already implies, a VOR-based, VOR-oriented referenced approach. So here is the Morro Bay VOR that we're going to use. So we're going to fly from that hold straight to the Morro Bay VOR. And because we're not aligned, we need to use this procedure term. Thanks for the follow, Gitnik. Thank you. Welcome aboard. I need some encouragement. Thanks for being here. So we're coming in. And yeah, we need to make use of the procedure turn. So we're going to go this way, that way. We're going to turn around and then go back again. And well, again, you can see that letter in the approach, which means again there's something unusual going on. Well, in this case, it's quite clear we are not aligned with our runway at all, or with any running. Oh. Pinching and drawing at the same time doesn't work. Yeah, in that sense, you can already see it here at the profile view. We have circling minimums, which means that we can land on pretty much any runway, advised by tower, obviously, when we are coming in on this approach. Now, usually we're going to get assigned runway 29. So once we are coming in here, I expect that we'll be switched to tower at one point, and tower is going to say, do your thing. And perhaps we have circling restrictions as well. Ah, yes, here on the top, circling north, circling not available north of the runway. All right, so again, here's the field, so north of the runway. Well, why? Yeah, terrain. So most likely we're gonna, well, we get southern kind of south circling instructions. Perhaps even part of a traffic pattern. So the downwind here might be logical. The left downwind, and then we do a full stop landing, and we successfully diverted from our initial destination airport to our alternate, which is pretty cool. Very cool, actually. So that is the flight. A lot of stuff going on. I'm really excited to see how I will manage. And then obviously we got. Oh yeah, I've got the airport alternate minimums, which is part of which is true for San Luis. So even though you can file pretty much any alternate airport, some approach plates show you this little A, which says that the alternate minimums are actually different from the minimums that are mentioned here. By the way, we need to use the bottom row here because we use DME, I think. We're category alpha with our Qt 172, but there are alternate minimums, and that's something that you need to look up. So in this document, San Luis, there we go. The VOR TACAN. So this one is number 2. So this category alpha is 1500 to statute miles. And I've set my cloud base to 2,000 feet. So this is going to be interesting, as I mentioned already 5 times. Close. Yeah, anything else? Well, the airport, St. Louis, we are already familiar with. So runway 29 most likely. Yeah, we're going to park near the tower or something like that. If we manage to get there. Okay, so that is the flight. And I've manually set my own weather, so that's the idea. Not straight ahead 2, straight ahead 221, then direct. Ah, yes. That's a very good note, Kim. Yeah, so let me show you guys. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So this is sequential, right? So first 2100 straight ahead, and then you go to the Guadalupe Vortex. I guess it's also mentioned here. Climb to 2100 direct, VOR and hold. Yeah, I don't know. Is it? Do you know this for sure, Kim? That it's sequential. That first we need to climb to 2100 and then go direct to the Vortex. I mean, obviously, if you look at these boxes, it does suggest that that's the case. Especially because Guadalupe is quite nearby, I would expect you just to go straight at it. But perhaps if you already look at the plan view here, it's going to be not that different from a direct to the Vortex. We're already, once we fly 29, we're going already straight into Guadalupe. But that's a good remark. Also good remark, also by Kim, I think, or taxi, no parking. A taxi into position and hold. Yeah. Was that I was very focused, or I emphasized checking my altimeter setting in the last stream at the final approach fix, which was nice. But as part of a non-precision approach, it doesn't really prove to be that useful, because obviously you cannot check your altimeter setting against anything other than your current altimeter setting or the chart, which is not really a proper check. You could still have the wrong altimeter setting. So obviously with a precision approach, you have glide slope information. You can check your current readout on your altimeter with your glide slope. It should be centered, right? Because that's the point where you usually are already on the glide slope. But with a non-precision approach, you don't have any glide slope information, so it doesn't make sense at all to do that kind of check. But, well, as part of my own habits of doing my final approach checks at the final approach fix, yeah, that is good, but it's an important remark. Okido. All right. Wow. Kresha Distal is now hosting you. Thanks for the hosts, Kresha. Appreciate it. Okay. Away. And here we are. So in the dark, guys. My gosh. Yeah, flashlight. Yeah, you can hear the raindrops falling on our windshield, which is cool. Atlantic is over there. Let's do a call in dark check, literally. Parking brakes are set, live vest, blah blah blah, doors closed, windows closed, ELT set to auto, flap lever is up, and our flaps are actually up. My throttle is working, my mixture is working, side tech wise, fuel tank set to both, cutoff is in, alternate is in, trim is set. Avionics are off, lights are off except for the beacon, master switch is off, and magneto switch is off as well. And my SciTech switch panel is working too. My radios are off. Yep, that's in sync as well. And I haven't put on my seatbelts. Beach Dog, would a teardrop entry make more sense? Well, it doesn't really matter that much, Bill. In any case, you need to stay within the protected area of the hold. And we seem to be so much aligned, at least in my view, with the inbound, outbound heading of the track of the holding, that it seems to be pretty much a parallel. But you can choose any. The parallel or the teardrop would be fine as long as you stay in that protected area. Yes, very good. So batteries on. Fuel-wise, I think that's just fine. You can hear the gyro, electro gyro spool up. That's good. Avionics on, and we have a transponder is off. That's good. I do like to check my flaps because we're not going to do a walk around. go down and go down in sync. Flips up again. Very good. Our radio panel on. Let's wait for the Garmin to come in. This is good. This is good. Annunciator messages look fine as well. We're going to check that soon. And heading as well. Thanks for the follow, Sono. Thanks. Why don't I see a GPS here on my panel? Because I think I minimized that panel. Yep. Good. Database, yeah, blah blah blah. We do have a sync there. Good reflection and reception. Okay. So I'm not gonna tune in the flight plan here on the GPS. So I primarily like to fly slant alpha, but obviously I do have the GPS here, so we do have some situational awareness. Also, I'm not planning to fly with the autopilot, just by hand in complete darkness in IMC very soon. Okay. So I'm actually quite pleased with this, and that's about it. Yeah. Let's start this puppy up. Throttle a bit in. Fuel pump on. Positive fuel flow. 1, 2, and 3. And pump off. Is anyone walking around? No. So clear prop. There we go. 1200. Oil pressure is already in the green. Alternator on. There's the rise and the M meter. That's good. No annunciator messages. Let's lean for ground. There goes the rise on the M meter. And there's the dip, so a bit richer. And back to 1000. Very good. We can put our flashlight away. Avionics on. There we go. And mode C. Very good. Frequencies. Yeah, I'm already pretty aware of what we're going to fly. But in any case, let's just set it in. San Marcos 114.9. If the GPS is ready. Uh, 114.9. No, not that one. Okay. So there's San Marcos. Now, obviously, as part of the departure procedure, we could also set Gaviota as a check to see whether we got 6,000. I'm not going to do that, which is a bit risky, but hey, as long as I'm not at 6,000 before I reach the airport, then I can still verify that, but I think we will be at 6,000 at that point. Okay, we could also use Ventura obviously to cross-check Flout, but we're going to use DME here, 18 DME, so I think this is just fine for me. We do have a reading, let's make sure. That makes a San Marcos Vortex, good. And we can already go a bit further. We still need DME here as part of the initial approach fix. 14.9 to get Madu. So I will set the localizer DME 108.4. Yes, which is already set, and obviously we're then going to fly Guadalupe, so that's 111.0, which is set, and that's about it, I guess. Once we're in the hold, I'm going to switch over to the frequency of the Vortex of San Luis. Okay. So then for the departure, I just need the radial 197 initially. Once we turn around, we're going to flip that at 180 degrees. 197. There we go. Okay, so that's all, I guess, for now. Well, we could also set the nav2, I guess. Because that's going to be very, very close to 290. I mean, any preparation that you can do beforehand, you should. I'm looking at this radial, this initial chunk here, and my plan was just to fly this on the nav1 that we still set. It's still San Marcos Vortec, and then switch over to the localizer to fly this one. But I obviously like to know, or I guess strictly speaking, I should use cross radial referencing here. So I can pinpoint Cokes. At the same time, I do have the DME here of Cokes that I can use as a second kind of reference. Yeah, I think that will be. We'll go with that, but I think that's not really how it should be done, ideally. But it seems more efficient here in my radio stack. But hey. Thank you, Sano. Yeah, I need those good luck wishes. Also, meanwhile, during the flight, it's going to be exciting. Alright, so that means that we set our navs, which is good, and that means that we can actually already get our clearance. What are we talking about? We're talking about clearance area 132.9. And ground is 121.9. 7, I mean. 1.7. 132.9. Yes, that's already set. Let's wait for some radio chatter here. Meanwhile, I can also do some other checks. Com1, yeah, we'd also need ATIS. And this is 150-ish. A bit less, 145. Good. Most likely we're going to fly 250. Initially, 400 feet, and then we're going to chase that needle. Yes, and obviously our altimeter setting, and we need ATIS. And ATIS was 132.65. 132.65, and I also like to see the ATIS of Santa Maria, because once we depart, obviously the Flout 5 departure is not that an extensive departure. So as soon as we are on our way to San Marcos, overflying the field once more, or the first time actually, then we already need to grab our ATIS to request our approach, our localizer back course alpha approach into Santa Maria. So we need to be quick to do that. 1 to 1.15. 1 to 1.15. So yeah, once we are in the hold at Guadalupe, the hold of the missed approach procedure of Santa Maria, we need to set at least 2 frequencies, and that is the VOR of Morro Bay. Was it Morro Bay? Yeah. Morro Bay, exactly. And the ATIS of San Luis for the weather. Okay, so that's good. Why am I not hearing anyone on the radio? Charts. Clearance area 132.9. Clearance 132.9. Santa Barbara. Well, let's just do our call then. Santa Maria. Flout 5. And San Marcos transition. And altitude, yeah, we're gonna learn, and frequency and transponder. Okay. All right, guys, let's go. Engine is already warm. Very good. Where are we? Atlantic. We have no weather.
Santa Barbara Mun Information Delta. 500 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility 10. Rain. Sky conditions 4000 overcast. Temperature 9. Dew point 1. Altimeter 3011. Arriving runway 25. Departing runway 25. Advise on initial contact. You have Delta.
Delta, roger. So we can. That means that we can already switch, by the way, the COM2 to Santa Maria, and that means that we got a standby frequency open to already set the ATIS of St. Louis. So let's do that. 120.6. Good. So we got Delta, and our airport elevation should be just about 0. And that's right on the money. Okay. Yeah, still strange why we don't hear anyone yet. We are signed in, right? Yeah. Atlantic with Delta, IFR to Santa Maria for the I-10 rating. Yeah. Santa Barbara clearance, good day. Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango Lima. I said Atlantic with Delta IFR to Santa Maria for the I-10 rating today, please.
Have Tango India Mike, Santa Barbara clearance, good morning, clear to Santa Maria Airport, Cloud 5 departure, San Marcos transition, direct, maintain 3000, expect 6000, 5 minutes after departure, squawk 3756 for the I-10.
Papa taking Mike is clear to the Santa Maria Airport, flight 5, departure, San Marcos transition, direct, climb to 3, expect 6 after 5, and squawk is 3756 for Papa taking Mike.
Tango India Mike, back, correct.
Alright, we don't have a departure frequency, but we can look that up, which is not that hard. First, let me put in that 3756 squawk code. 37, that's confirmed, good. And departure is going to be multiple. No, it's going to be on the chart as well, I guess. If we cannot find it, we could just ask. Whoop. Departure frequency 120.55. 120.55. Yes. Okay. Good. And we are also ready for taxi already. Well, we're already standing here for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Switch. Switch. Thank you. Switch to ground. And, well, I also like to see tower 119.7. Set that in. Can also put some music on, by the way, if that works. Yeah, 119.7. Okay, 121.7. Yeah, double checked. Okay. And Santa Barbara ground, Sky Papa Delta Tango, any bike is at Atlantic with Delta ready for taxi.
Tango India Mike, Santa Barbara ground, runway 15 left, taxi via Bravo Charlie, cross runway 25 at Bravo.
Runway 15 left, Bravo Charlie, and cross 25 at Bravo Papa Delta Mike. Alright, let's double check that then. 15 it is. 15 left. Yeah, that makes sense. So this, well, let's move on to the other charts. Here we
Up
are.
and ground November 48340, run up complete, taxi for takeoff.
So we are at Atlantic.
Bravo 340,
Bravo.
runway 25, taxi, via Sierra Alpha.
48340, runway 25, via Sierra Alpha.
Bravo Charlie. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. So Bravo Charlie, cross 25, Bravo, and then Charlie. Yes, so just a basic straight ahead. Well, I've been lost here on Santa Barbara once before, also at night. It's just a maze for me just to taxi here. So we need to be very, very aware. Okay. There we go. And anything else that we need? No, I guess not. Others other than nav lights, by the way, and taxi lights. There we go. All right, parking brakes released. Brake test, that works. I-10 guys, my gosh. It's very hard to see if there's even an airplane to the right of me. Well, there is a jet in front of me. Alright, there's Bravo sign. This is so hard, taxiing an X-plane. My gosh. Let me see, is it in front of me? It's so hard to see. Yeah, so here's my turn. On to Bravo. There we go. Step indicator, turn indicator. Looks good. Everything else is stable. Yeah. And confirmed also on the taxi sign there. Bravo. Okie doke. I'm really anxious. Looking forward how far I will venture into the I-10 before I fail. Unfortunately, no Marcus. I guess he already switched already. Yeah, it's around time. It's a bummer. I guess he fixed my I6 or I7, I8 ratings there. That apparently were not registered. Alright, so we also need to take a look at the departure procedure. So we're taking off from 15 left. That's nice because it favors our direction of flight, going to Flout. Marcus Victor mission rating. Ah, thanks Sono. And thanks Marcus. Alright, this 25, we're going to cross it. No hold, I didn't see anyone there, don't see anyone there. Again, I totally missed the taxiway lights here, and that was part of my mess up last time when I was at Santa Barbara. When Marcus was also controlling, and he laughed at me like, yeah, it's hard to taxi at Santa Barbara. Okay, so here's Bravo again. To watch your streams and edit them for you. Oh, awesome. That's cool. Bravo Charlie coming up. But I guess I just disconnected from PilotEdge too soon. I didn't hear anything. Joe didn't tell me that I should wait for just a few seconds, so perhaps I was too quick. 15 left makes sense. This is a big hold short line. It's so hard to taxi at night, which actually excites me. All right, there we go. Alright, parking brake set, which is actually not that reliable. Engine is already warm enough. Mixture full in. 1800s. There we go. No initiator messages. Vacuum is barely in the green. That's good. Everything is stable. Left mag, that's good enough drop for me. Right mag's comparable and good enough drop back to both. And going idle, and no messages on the annunciator panel. Pressure still in the green. Good. Alright. It's hard to see here. Right, that one goes down. Guess that one goes up. Yeah, looks good. Oh, I see all kinds of... I hope those are water trails and not engine troubles. Rudders are working. Okay. So... So far, so good. Let's get to my departure. So 15 left. Yes, there's going to be a right turn to 197, which is already set in the OBS. 197, that's correct. My compass is in sync to 1 and a bit, to 1 and a bit. So we're just going to take off, capture that needle, 18 DME, and get all the way up first to 3000. That's important. 3000, we can expect 6 after 5, so very, very soon we need to switch over to departure. Now I've searched for 120.55. Which we can already set, by the way. Switch to tower and 120.55. There we go. I don't know why she skipped the departure frequency. I guess because it's redundant in any case, because it's always mentioned on the departure plate. But yeah, and then we get going. I also like to check my trim is set, and I'd like to have just one notch of flaps.
Runway 25, clear for takeoff, November 48340.
And time is 6:18. Okay. And again, this is a bit of a bug here, quite a bug on ForeFlight, at least on my version here. I think I updated to the latest version. My notes. Sheets return to my craft notes automatically, which is not good. I just like to have my plain old notes. Okay, we are at tower, double check. 190.7, yes. And Santa Barbara Tower, Skype Hotel Tango Mike is running short, 15 left, ready for departure, IFR.
Mike, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 15 left, clear for takeoff, wind 180 at 3.
Clear for takeoff, 15 left, Hotel Tango Mike. Alright, there we go. Landing lights on, strobe lights on. There we go, guys. Man, this one really excites me. You see the rain in front of me, I don't know if you guys can see, but 15 left. Mixture full in. There we go. Full power, right rudder. Engine looks good, RPMs look good. 40, 50, 60, rotates into the abyss, they say. Say goodbye to the ground lights. Thanks, campers. 300 feet, flaps up. It's also a long time since I've flown on instruments, actually. So that's going to be interesting as well. Okay, 400 feet. Let's make that right turn, standard right turn. As best as we can. Oh man, it's already getting hard. Something like this. Let's lean her out. Neil is coming in.
Over
to departure, Papa Tel, Tango, Mike. Switch, checked. And departure Skype over Delta Tango Mike is climbing through 1,300.
Tango Mike, confirm departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000.
6,000 Papa Delta Mike. Okay. A little bit more of a climb, or of a turn here. 197, there we go. She's flying over the ocean right now. And we can go up to 6,000. Trimmed pretty okay-ish. Gosh, it's so hard to see. Excuse me. I expected the dashboard to be a little bit more bright, but oh, we can turn on our 1907. And we're looking for 18. Okay, so far so good.
Santa Maria Public / Captain G. Allen Hancock Field Information Delta.
Delta.
500 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable, visibility 10, rain. Sky conditions 3700 overcast, temperature 8, dew point 1. Altimeter 3011. Arriving runway 30, departing runway 30.
Alright, that's Santa Maria. Switch our comms to. Can climb further to 6,000. 10 on the DME.
Cessna Tango India Mike, turn left, direct San Marcos.
Left, direct San Marcos. Thanks, Papa Delta Mike. Alright. Let's do that then. While we are climbing. Something like that. Keep that as a standard rate turn, Tim. Come on. Man, I've been missing flying in instruments. It's hard, but I like to go. I like the exercise. He said before he crashed.
November 48340, roger.
Alright, already got the weather. So that means as soon as I'm at 6,000.
Cessna Tango India Mike, traffic 10 o'clock 2 miles, crossing left to right, altitude indicates 5,500.
Traffic inside, Pop Delta Mike, thanks for the heads up.
Cessna 340, contact, local departure.
We are in the clouds, our strobe light reflects, so I turn that off. So let's see if I can make 6,000. I think I can, which is a concern.
Local departure, good morning, November 48340, 1,300, climbing 3,000.
November 48340,
Thanks, Sona.
local departure, further contact, climbing maintain 4,000.
48340.
And again, guys, I will not be that attentive to the chat because this is a I-10 rating. Alright. We can already ask departure for our localizer. Back course alpha approach with a mist and a hold. And so departure, Sky Papa Delta you Mike with a request.
Tango India Mike, go ahead.
We'd like to fly the localizer back course alpha approach into Santa Maria with a mist and a hold, if that's okay. It is okay because it's part of the rating.
Tango India Mike, cross San Marcos at 6,000. Clear the localizer DME, back course alpha approach.
We're cross San Marcos at 6,000 and clear for the localizer back course alpha approach into Santa Maria. Thanks. Good. So that's out of the way. Whoa, we are in Star Wars. All right. Very distracting. Landing lights off. Doesn't do a thing. Now, while I'm flying my radials, which is good, I'm not doing my checks actually. So 005, which is still in sync, that's good. Attitude indicator is good. Altimeter setting is still good. 1,000 feet to go. Be wary.
340, turn left heading
80 is good.
180.
We are freezing, so
Left heading 180,
pitot
November
heats
48340.
on. We're already far above 3,000, so we can lean, be more efficient with our fuel, and also better burn. 500 feet to go, 600. And we should also turn into that radial. Fuel quantity is good. EGT is goodish. Fuel flow, temps, pressure, vacuum is good. Lights, well, landing lights can be turned off actually. 500 feet to go. What are we doing? We're flying the radial towards San Marcos at 6,000. We already have the weather. So far, so good. 300 feet to go. And keep that climb going, Tim. Now we can skip that wariness of not reaching 6,000. You're already pretty much there. Once we cross over the airport. There's 6,000. 4 nautical miles to go, actually, which is not that much, but I first like to be in sync here. Map 6,286. 286. Where's my speed coming? There it is.
November 340, traffic 11 o'clock, 2 miles, northwestbound, altitude indicates 4,400.
4340, I have IMC conditions.
I think it is, Kim. We needed to cross 6,000 above San Marcos, Vordeck, and we're just coming near. Why am I not really making that much?
Number 3407 miles from Wilma, turn left heading 130, join VIP 64 eastbound.
Number 340, left heading.
Still waiting for that flip on my nav 1. Yeah, taxi indeed. Speed of light. Warp 20. 1.8. So I'm a bit soon with the OBS, I guess, turning that radial. Watching my speed there. Pitot heat is on. Not quite pleased with, but throttle is full in. You can see my speed is, and my RPM is also not that high. I think we might have engine freeze. Yes, we have. Yeah, let's pause. I don't want to do an emergency right now, actually. Let's pause. Can I still use PilotEdge while I'm on pause? Weather. Let's make it hotter. Temperature 20 degrees at nearest airport. Does that work? We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting.
Soco approach, good morning, November 48340, level 4000.
Soco departure, Skype Hotel, Tengmar. We have some engine freeze here. I'd like to change my weather settings for the I-10 rating. So we're just figuring out that stuff. We have some altitude deviations at the moment, but we're going to fix that, if that's okay.
Sorry, 340, well advised with the weather, wind the weather, and
Stepped on.
PBR Alpha approach to the procedure.
Let's
November
see.
340, roger.
Seems like my RPM is...
About deviation, say again.
Yeah, that's Papa Hotel Tango, Inimaika. We ran into some engine icing here due to our own custom weather settings, but I think we fixed it, so we are going to re-establish ourselves on 6000 and the approach. So it's fine. Papa Hotel Tango.
There's nothing with you, Mike, roger.
Alright, fixed it. Now, I have to say that I'm actually quite pleased of spotting that early on. Yeah, there goes the RPM very slowly. That was engine icing. And so, yeah, I know the pitot heat is not a...
340 Clearview Alpha approach, so call to runway 24.
Come on, capture that needle, man.
Alpha approach, circle 24.
Yeah, there goes the speed. This is much better. Yes, now we're talking. Sound. Guys, it was also as part of my VFR flight, I think. Sound, just the RPM sound, can tell you so much of your condition, of the engine, obviously. Okay. 2400-ish to 9, we're established. We're looking for 14 something before we can descend further down. So let's first establish ourselves. Running away a bit. We got 11 nautical miles looking at my GPS here, pushing us. So we should be a little bit more crabbed. It's going to be interesting with our hold as well. Okay, 3.2. Looking at my map here, we already got the weather. So 14.9 and then Madhu. And then we can descend to 4,600. Yeah, beach, exactly. Don't go too far up. 4 nautical miles. And again, imagine doing this with a jet, where you're going much faster, you need to work, and then Slant Alpha. Clearly I'm not trimmed. So with our 172, we got so much time, relative. I still feel busy, but... Okay, let's not turn all the way with our heading towards the needle, or the OBS, the track, because we're gonna get pushed, right? 12 knots even. A bit more nose down trim. Good, double check. What is our heading? It is 7280. That is okay-ish. No, it's exactly 280. We already got some gyro drift. There we go, 280. Altimeter is good. Attitude indicator is good. Speed is good. Yeah, temperature obviously now is good.
India Mike, traffic 1 o'clock, 2 miles westbound, converging. Altitude indicates 4,800.
Looking for that traffic. Thanks for the heads up. I always appreciate those traffic alerts, but I don't see anything. Okay. Fuel quantity is good, EGT is good, fuel flow is good, temps are good, pressure is good, vacuum is good, amps are good, lights are okay, taxi lights are still on, that could be turned off actually. That might explain why we still saw the rain droplets, I guess, a while ago. 6.8 on the DME. What are we doing? We're flying a radial outbound, but we need to be quick. 286, here we can flip it around, I don't really care. We already got the localizer in the it's 108.4. Ha, that's wrong. Stay on track, Tim. Stay on track. 108.9 it should be. 108.9. That's a good double check, Tim. 108.9. So that's a simple swap. We're 1 dot away from our desired track here, which is not good. Again, I wanted to crab into the wind, but apparently that was a bit too aggressive. $6,000, nicely trimmed, now autopilot. Slowly shimmying towards the needle. 9 nautical miles, still good. This is the time to prep. Slowly catching on that needle. Minimums, just circling 1100. Missed, we already announced. Yeah, it's just flying the thing. Nav 2, that's the missed approach. Missed approach is in the COM2. We should be 1110, that's set. Turn into the needle. And yeah, again, as Kim suggested, or instructed actually, as part of the missed approach, I should first climb to 2100 and then turn to the Guadalupe vortex. Do you know that for sure, Kim? With the missed approach, that it's sequential, serial approach. First 21, and then once I reach 2100, then I need to fly towards Guadalupe. Yes, it's sequential. Thanks, Kim. I did not know that. And it actually now, once you said it, it makes sense. But so we're flying in pitch blackness, rainish, and my lens. Well, we could keep our flashlight on. There's Kiza. Santa Ines, wonderful airport. You've got good weather, obviously. We are flying in pitch dark. I never imagined me doing this, at least not as soon as I started the Uncertified Pilot project, that I was ever able to do this with all the ADC and stuff. It's incredible, my gosh. Anxious. Alright, 12.1 on the DME. We're looking for 14.9. Then we can descend to 4,600 and we got an additional 14.1 leg to go. We're already cleared for the approach. We already got the weather, it's Delta. Guadalupe we set, and the OBS, did we set it as well, which is going to be something like 290. That's also set. Good. Good. So now climb to 21 direct. Yes, I know. So no thanks. But the confusion that I had, or confusion, the thing that I would messed up, I guess, so no, was whether I should do that simultaneously. So 2100 and go direct to, or was it first 2100 and upon reaching 2100 then make that turn? And it makes sense to first go up away from the terrain and then make your turn.
Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 6201.
14.9, 14.1.
Does not too fast at the back correct.
40.
Tango India Mike, traffic 3 o'clock, 1 mile, parallel same direction, altitude indicates 6,600.
We've got the traffic inside, Bob tells you, Mike, thanks. Alright, that's our point to go down. 4,600. Let's keep our speed up, I guess. $4,600, that's confirmed. I'd like to go down a bit faster, actually. Looking also at the charts, I mean, I know that my next leg is going to be 14. But I'd like to have the total distance, obviously, from San Marcos. So I was looking for that symbol, and I found it there to the left, if you guys can see. $29. not properly trimmed yet. That's because I'm pointing down, my nose downwards. We're going to increase speed, and then I need to repitch. So I was actually not stable once I trimmed. Looking for 46. We're still right on the money. Trying to put our landing lights on, why not? Strobe lights. Yeah, we're not in the clouds. So let's put those on again. So far, so good.
Number 340 traffic clock 3 miles.
Ryan, it's a climb direct to the VOR. Like it says, don't wait. Doesn't matter too much here since it's straight ahead anyway. If you were supposed to wait, it would say then direct. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan is a certified flight instructor, so I trust Ryan over Kim. Kim, I appreciate your guidance, but thanks, Ryan, for stepping in. So it's simultaneous. And what would be the graphical symbology on the map then, Ryan? To differentiate between serial instructions and simultaneous ones. All right, 200 feet to go. Nine miles to go. 46. Speed is still the same, so it should be just a matter of retrimming. Our speed is going to decline, obviously. So we wait until our speed is stable and then we trim, because otherwise we keep trimming. 100 feet too high, but it's a minimum en route altitude, so that should be okay. Come on, keep your attitude the same, Tim. Just also enriching our mixture just a tiny bit. 22 nautical miles, looking for 29. And before 29, I'm going to flop over the nav1 to the localizer, which is, double check again, 108.9, which is set. Yeah, a little bit more up trim. 6 miles to go. It's not depicted differently, Tim. The text says it's by then. But I didn't read then. Missed approach is climb to 2100 direct. Oh yeah, and that's where, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so that means that you should do it simultaneously. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys. 24 nautical miles. One last.
Local approach number 48340, procedure turn.
We can set tower. 118.3 in the standby. Important. Prepare anything. Set yourself up for success as best you can. Now I can already quickly switch, I guess, swap. It's a localizer, so it shouldn't matter much. Yeah, we got reverse sensing. Reverse sensing. Again, double check. 280 is our heading indicator. Everything else seems good. Pido Hira, keep on. .26 nautical miles, looking for 29. Now with an HSI, we could actually turn around the OBS, I guess. I don't know what it's called, with an HSI, and then you mitigate that reverse sensing issue, but with our classical traditional nav1 we need to deal with that. Alright, 27. I am going to switch now. Switch, 108.9. Needle goes to the other side, no glide stop information, that's good. 4600, that's Cokes, which is 11.6 nautical miles away from the localizer. So we're gaining in. So again, this is not really proper. I think I should have strictly also set the send markers now in my nav2 so I can really cross-check whether I'm at Cokes. So I'm now flying a heading, another radial, which is not good. 4600 indeed. There comes the needle. And then once we are at Cokes 11.6, we can go down to 3000. There comes the needle. Reverse sensing, guys. Alright. This is so cool. Landing lights are on, everything is on. We're still leaned. .6, we can already descend if we like.
Number 48340, full total, good morning, runway 24.
3000 we go. .300. Power a bit back. Nose down. So reverse sensing. So we need to go a bit to the right here to catch the needle. We're looking for 5.8 on the DME. Thanks for the follow. I don't have time to look at who follows, but thanks. Alright, back to 300s. We're still in sync with our compass. Keep that nose down, buddy. Landing lights are on, everything is on. Let's go full mixture already. We are lit up, ready to go. Again, we're a little bit off track there, so we need to fly to the left now. Small adjustments first, then bigger ones later. So allow that needle just to creep in like we practiced so many times. Looking for 3000, 5.8. We're at 8 currently, so we're doing just fine. .400 feet to go. .200 feet to go. 100 feet to go. Let's power up. I can see the runway already in the far distance. So cool! 3000, looking for 5.8. Almost there, so we did a good job there. And then we can go down to 1720. Thanks for the subscription. To the left. 5.9. 5.8. There we go down again. To 1720. To the left. This is so confusing. 1720. For 2 nautical miles. And again, we're going to do a low approach. Tower's already set. first sensing Tim. The other.
Tango India Mike, contact Santa Maria Tower 118.3.
Oh, the tower, Papa Delta Mike. Confirmed. Santa Maria Tower, Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is on the localizer backcourse Alpha approach with Delta for low approach.
Skyhawk Tango India Mike, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, clear low approach, wind 3005.
Clear for low approach 30 Papa Delta Mike. I thought it was runway 29. But I guess she just misspoke, or runways have changed. All right. At 2 DME, I should be at 1720. And then we can go down to minimums.
Pulling short, 15 left on Charlie.
Come on, go down.
Departure.
Cessna 72 Foxtrot Hotel, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 15 left, quick takeoff.
Still looking at my instruments here.
Clear takeoff, 15 left, 72 Foxtrot Hotel.
7020. For 2 only, just 1, and there we go. We can go down to 1100. And I'm venturing off of my localizer, which is a problem because I'm nearby, so the differences are pretty substantial. 1100. Come on. Stay to the left, Tim. Still only looking at my instruments here. Don't fly into the needle, but away. This is so cool. 1100. There we go. At 05, already passed it. Good. Low approach. So, missed approach now, I guess. Or first execute the low approach, I don't know. Mixture's full in, lights are still on. 30. Climb to 2100. And direct to Guadalupe. Which is pretty much straight ahead, as Ryan already predicted. And I expected as well, to be honest.
Cessna 2 Foxtrot Hotel, radar contact departure.
Good departure, Cessna 72 Foxtrot Hotel.
Guadalupe 120.
Cessna 72 Foxtrot Hotel, Santa Barbara departure, cancel altitude restriction.
Looking at my nav 2 now.
Receive transponders, block 5,
I need to climb. And Tower Sky Papa Hotel Tango and Mike Santa Maria, we are on the low approach, already executing the mist.
Skyhawk Tango India Mike, roger, contact Santa Barbara approach 120.55.
120.55, update you, Mike. I think I should have announced it a bit earlier once I actually executed the thing. Circle approach, Sky Papa Hotel Tango Mike is on the missed approach for the localizer backcourse Alpha approach. I'd like to do a few holds at Guadalupe if that's okay.
Skyhawk Tango India Mike, Santa Barbara approach, roger, clear to Guadalupe or expect further clearance 1910 and 1859.
Okay, we'll hold at Guadalupe and we'll advise Papa Delta Mike. 2100. Get down.
November 113 Mike.
Fly the airplane first. Where's the needle? Turn.
Did you request by following or you were just looking for taxi?
Could have been already past the VOR. That's the.
You're just looking for taxi?
The problem when I have ventured that much off of my track, so I don't know whether I've actually passed
Alpha for the Cat 5.
The Guadalupe VORTAC. Hello? Where's the button for the...
Cessna 2 Foxtrot Hotel, resume on navigation.
One navigation, 72 Foxtrot.
Oh, it's this one.
That's Cessna 2 Foxtrot, just verify, is that for the Cat 8?
That seems like the switch.
Yes, for the Cat 8.
Okay,
Sorry,
come on.
Foxtrot Hotel.
Charts.
Cessna 2 Foxtrot, roger.
120 or 300.
November 1128, John Lane Clearance.
All right. What are we doing? We're flying the Alban Radial from Guadalupe. 330 for 1 minute. 2200 instead of 21.
1128, good morning, clear to Catalina Airport. We are flying heading 220. Radar to Seal Beach. Venice filed. Maintain 2000.
30 seconds on the clock.
4000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.
First I'm going to do the entry. Then I'm going to listen to weather.
I-7. Hold the read back for just a moment. Cessna 340, taxi to parking gear, Alpha Ministry.
This is so cool. What I learned, my gosh, even if
1128, go ahead with the read back.
even if I fail, my gosh. 1 minute. Parallel entry, standard rate turn.
November 1128, read back. Correct, except clock is 4316, that's 4316.
So we need to add 30 or something. So 150.
Thank you. Cessna Tango India Mike, climb and maintain 4000.
4000 Papa Dynamic. Not too much. This is so cool. Come on, focus. You can do this. Come on, it's not hard. The force is with you. $4,000. Come up, up. Waiting for the needle. It's gonna be close.
I don't believe it. He set the clock.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. There's the needle. Keep that climb going. 4,000. Yeah, that's the problem when I come in too sharp.
1118, turning ground, runway 20 left, taxi Alpha Lima.
So officially now, I'm actually in the non-protected area. We're still in the tube position. So I'm gonna try and see if I can still capture the thing. But I think we already passed it, which is not good. Oh, there's a from reading already. Okay, good. No. Standard rate turn. Keep the climb going, not too far off, Tim. 4,000 is coming up. Man. This is so cool. I'm making a mess, kind of. But it's so cool. 4,000 is coming up. Okay, nose down.
November 113 Mike, Kilo, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, clear for takeoff, wind 3005.
Let's fly a little bit more outbound here. Alright. Now, I'm not planning to stay here for long.
San Luis CORGNL information echo. 600 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable, visibility 10, rain. Sky conditions 5,800 overcast.
Good.
Temperature 19, dew point 7. Altimeter 3011. Arriving runway 29, departing runway 29.
Alright.
Advise on initial contact, you have echo.
November 118, runway tower, runway 20 left, clear for takeoff, wind calm.
112.4. Good.
San Luis CORGNL.
I know. There's the clock. Stay at... I'm just gonna... Oh, that's a bit too much. Alright, let's try again. I'm even gonna do a second one. If I'm making myself a bit too mad. Now I'm also not calculating winds, which we do have. Nose down. So I actually should crab and do all kinds of stuff. Well, that's too much of my... too taxing. It's going to be interesting to look at. There's the needle already. So let's keep that turn going. Getting pushed, so I should have actually rolled out a bit sooner. I could have also timed this, so then I know the difference.
November 118, contact local departure.
The difference in leg distance.
Have Daniel India Mike 1 ready to leave the hold, just fine.
Yes, we know. Just need to. We're gonna go for one lap just to set ourselves up for the shift to San Luis, if that's okay. Hope that's right.
Roger.
I already expected that she would somehow seep in like, hey Tim, are you aware that you shouldn't do 16 laps here?
Local departure, good evening, November 1128, 1700, climb.
Waiting for the flip on an F2.
November 1128, local departure, radar contact, liquid direct Santa Catalina, climbing.
There it goes. And a
Radar
turn.
contact, fly direct to Catalina, climb maintain 4000, November 1128.
It almost feels this hold like with the Cat 10 rating, where you suddenly, or at least me, become aware of echo airspace and how echo airspace can be used in around LAX and Santa Monica and stuff, just to take your time. And the same thing I actually do now in the hold. I'm in the hold, I decide, I negotiate when I'm going to divert. In this case I was actually a bit curious just to perfect my holding patterns here that I should actually practice with wind correction. So we're now getting blown to the right, so I should increase actually my turn here. Well, if I make it to San Luis, we're going to have a look at the flight track to see how well I did. Alright. On. Again guys, I don't have the time to look at the chat. I really appreciate you being here. But let me just figure this one out. Yes, I should a little bit crab towards the west, southwest, but I think it was a factor of 3 or something, or 2.5 or 3. Because now my turns inwards are a bit shorter. Yes, okay. So 30 seconds. I'm wasting my time here.
Traffic 11 o'clock, 3 miles southwestbound.
Yeah, I see him.
Altitude station south eastbound. Altitude indicates 3,600.
Traffic inside, for what does he make things. Okay, Morro Bay 1112.4. I can already set it in the nav 1. Good. Don't break that thing, and you're also going a little bit too far to the west here. This is going to be the direction of flight to get to Morro Bay, which is going to be 19 nautical miles, so that's good. To me, that sounds like time. Okay, already passed on the clock. Let's make the turn. So Clipperch, Kite Hotel, Tango Mike, would like to divert to San Luis for the VOR Alpha approach. That's okay. if that's okay. Of course it's okay.
India Mike, close to San Luis Airport via direct Morro Bay, direct.
Clear to the San Luis Airport, Morro Bay, direct, Papa Mike. Alright, good. Which is also interesting, I did not know that again, there comes the needle, that it's just a new clearance. But that makes sense, because you're diverting to another destination airport.
Good to approach on 124.7, many thanks.
There we go. Good, click. I'm not really interested in that anymore. There's the needle, I can sweep a bit in. 4,000, it's still 4,000, that's good. Morro Bay we already set in, nav 1, 112, double check. 112.4 Morro Bay is good. 310. We're already cleared. I don't need to finish my hold.
3008, the altimeter is 72 Foxtrot Hotel, many thanks.
Yeah, so you could also say that my timing of getting my clearance wasn't that efficient, because I was turning away from San Luis and then requesting to go to Morro Bay. I should have done it actually in the outbound turn like I did right now, but okay, 4,019 nautical miles. My gosh, 4,000 feet, 19, we're inbound 4,000, we're still ready to go. What is our compass? Let's do checks. 300, still good. Altimeter is still good, I guess. Speed is still good. Temperature outside, yeah, we've changed it. Who the hell cares? Fuel quantity still goodish. EGT, yeah, that's why we actually did not lean that before. I don't quite know, but let's lean it now. Temps are good, pressure is good, vacuum is good, amps are good, lights are still good. Still keep my landing lights on. And what are we doing? We're flying direct to Morro Bay. We already have clearance, but we don't have clearance for the approach. Did we? Did we already have clearance for the approach, guys? I mean, we still got 17 nautical miles once we get there, but I'd like to be sure. And I see some lights, airport lights. Beach says yep. I need confirmation, guys. Do we already have clearance for the approach?
We have San Luis weather.
We have Echo for San Luis, Papa J Mike, ready to go.
We have India Mike, Roger Cross, Morro Bay at 4,000, cleared via Alpha approach, triple runway 29er.
We'll cross Morro Bay at 4,000, clear for the VOR Alpha approach, and we can expect 29er San Luis, Papa J Mike.
Santa Barbara approach, Cessna 113 Mike Kilo, 10 miles northeast of Santa Maria at 7,500 feet. Request flight following to Bakersfield.
Cessna 113 Mike.
4,000, that's the clearance for VOR Alpha. So apparently I wasn't cleared yet.
Squawking 17. I'm sorry, can you repeat the squawk again for 113 Mike
Still
Kilo?
14 nautical miles to go, so I've got time. Still on track, 4,000, good. We got the weather, Echo, I already did that.
1707, 113 Mike Kilo.
Could have also picked up the weather after I was out of the hold.
November 1128, contact local approach 127.4.
Over to SoCal, approach 127.4.
I guess we're going to stay. So now we're flying from this direction all the way to Morro Bay. And I guess we're going to stay with approach here, so I'm going to set tower 124.0. Good. And
SoCal approach, good evening, November 112 at 4,000.
this is actually should be not too difficult. The most difficult thing we just completed yet. 12 nautical miles to go. I love a 172 slow pace. Matches my speed of thinking as a student IFR pilot. Alright, so what are we going to do? Morro Bay 084 the other way around. 264 for 1 minute. Procedure turn. Inbound. Circle approach 29. Perfect.
We'll report the procedure turn inbound November 112 and cross Catalina at 4,000.
Taxi and Kim were already right. Thanks, guys. I missed the press. Exactly, Taxi.
Altitude indicates 4,100 and climb.
11 nautical miles to go. I'm tensed up, my gosh. This is so cool. Look what we're doing. We're flying in the pitch dark. I'm spitting for the third time. In the pitch dark. No, our sim is a little bit stuttery. Could you please repeat?
Tango India Mike, traffic 12 o'clock, 1 mile, same direction. Altitude indicates 4,600.
Traffic inside, Papa Delta, Mike, thanks.
Roger.
Still, I don't like the stuttering.
Cessna 3 Mike Kilo, contact Los Angeles Center, 135.5.
Yeah, that was plain obvious that I see other traffic in front of me. That was close.
113 Mike Kilo.
And I don't know if it's a jet or not, but because we're low, actually the wake turbulence might actually descend on us. Alright, come on, Tim. Focus. Morro Bay. So, 264. Yeah, so we're going to change that needle and we're going to set the clock for 1 minute. X-plane, stay alive, please. Okay, one last sip.
Cessna 113 Mike Kilo, Los Angeles Center, Santa Maria, altimeter 3014.
4.0 is set, and again double check 112.4. Yeah. .6 nautical miles to go. Come on, a bit more aggressive on the needle, Tim. Good for you, M3. Well, I have sweaty hands and a stiff neck. Oh. Okay, coming up Morro Bay. 264, 1 minute. We stay at 4,000 or at least 3,500. Show you just for 1 second. This is the profile view. Lights are on, everything is on. Make sure we're still leaned. 315. We have got a little bit of gyro drift. Corrected. We're on the needle. Yes, outside temperature is okay-ish. We do got rain, but no freezing. Fuel quantity is good, EGT is good, fuel flow is good, temps are good, pressure is good, vacuum is good, amps are good, lights are good. What are we doing? Flying direct to Morro Bay. We got 4.5 nautical miles. And then we're going to fly outbound 264. Already set the heading bug 264. And you're far off. Come on. I guess it's the sensitivity of the needle, but I don't like to be one dot away of my desired. That's still something that I'm noticing also as part of my training flights, is the precision that I can still very much work on in terms of altitude, but also needle flying, headings. I mean, it's getting there, but okay, some traffic, perhaps we get a traffic alert. But I can be much more, I should be much more precise. So in terms of a actual IFR check ride, I would have failed actually. 2.4. Yeah, now the needle is moving away because we're very close. Waiting for the flip. Thanks for the follow, Andy. And yeah, Altar, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was so busy engaged with flying. Thank you so much. Wait for the flip. We can go down to 3,500. 264. Well, something like this. There's the from reading. Standard rate turn to the left. One minute. Go down, Tim. There's the needle.
American 480, Los Angeles Center. Good morning. Descend via the Lucky, one arrival.
Good. Don't need to go that fast. Not exceed the red line there. 3,500. So. There's 3,500.
Cessna 2 Foxtrot Hotel, contact local approach 134.2.
Keep that speed in. 47 seconds on the clock. Thanks, Saint. I agree. I agree. Hands-on flying. That's 1 minute. Just wait. I'd like to be a little bit further away. I feel a bit close to the airport. All right, and then 309. 309. Click. Reset.
Local approach, Cessna 72 Foxtrot Hotel, 7,500.
Could have set my timer once I hit.
Cessna 72 Foxtrot local approach,
Here we go.
3008. Advise when you have weather. Expect runway 8.
309.
We copy the weather and expect the runway 8, 72 Foxtrot Hotel.
Okay. Fly 309, Tim. If it's 309, fly 309, not 3015. Seconds on the clock. Compass, everything still syncs. I'm flying the approach. What's my altimeter? 3011, that's correct. Alright, let's make that turn. It's gonna be 129er. I'm wondering when I can now already descend to my next altitude. 2800 is not a big drop, but... Or should I first establish myself on the localizer, or on the VOR radio? It's gonna be 084. .084. .129er. There we go. I'm not interested in the timer anymore. I'm just looking at the localizer here.
SoCal approach, November 1128. I have Wrigley inbound.
There comes the needle.
Would like to cancel.
Lights are on. Everything is on. Mixture full in. Once the needle is there, I'm going to drop to 2800.
118, issue Wrigley outbound at this time, and also verify you cancel on IFR and terminating the I-7 rating.
There comes the needle.
So I'm going outbound.
Then we can descend to 2800.
November 118, Roger. So would you like to continue with the approach in the I-7 check ride? Would you like to cancel the check ride?
.084, 2800. Circling 29. What's the instruction? Okay, radial on the needle. We're going down. Fly the damn radial. Tim. 2800s.
Tango India Mike, contact San Luis Tower 124.0.
Over the tower, Papa Delta Mike. And San Luis Tower, Sky Papa Delta Mike is on the VOR Alpha approach at 3000. Descending through.
Skyhawk Tango India Mike, San Luis Tower, circle south for left downwind, runway 29, clear to land, wind 36088.
Circling left downwind 29, clear to land 29, Papa Delta Mike.
Southwest 172.
Come on, you're not flying. Look at the radial. Oh, we're close, obviously. We are close. Yeah, so 2800. So let's stay here. 2800. Keep that speed in. We're not quite there yet. Come on. Come on. Good. I want to see the flip, and then 1700s. I want to see the flip. Give it to me. There's the flip. Good. And then 17.
That's not too far. Roger. United 1613, Los Angeles, Santa Good morning.
I can already see St. Louis.
November 1128, change to advisory frequency approved, report cancellation of IFR, this frequency.
Through the tower, clear to land 29, and we have a left downwind. There's the radio already picking up, lights are on, mixture is full in. Good, and our minimums are 1120. But we already see the airport. Wow. Man. IFR flying is so cool. It's tough, but wow. This is engaging. Look at that. Put some music on. 1120. Well, we have the airport inside, so it's going to be basic, but...
Cessna 3 Mike Kilo.
Thanks, Kim.
The Vegas will approach 118.8.
Left downwind, clear to land. Alright. We're here.
That's now 113 Mike Kilo, Vegas will approach, roger.
Pitot heat off. Okay, I'm gonna stay at this altitude. We can go lower, but I don't like to go lower.
That's 2 Box at Hotel Van Nuys Airport,
29, let's go the downwind.
10 miles, Bob Airport, 12 o'clock and 16 miles, report both inside.
Circling south, that's also in consistent with the turn off
That's not 2 Box Hotel, overfly Van Nuys at above 3000,
okay.
make
There goes the
the
speed.
runway 8 at Bob Hope.
Come on, don't fly towards the airport, fly away to buy yourself some time and space for the base. This is actually quite tough, my gosh. There's our speed for one flap, push down on the yoke. Where's that speed? What are we at? 2100. That's kind of good. Keep that nose centered. And keep an eye on the airfield. You can still get lost while circling. Let alone stall. Come on, Tim. Go down. There's the tower. Again, also, what's very good, what I now notice, which is very important, that you know the airport layout. So I know where the tower should be, based on the airport diagram. So I'm also pretty sure that we're flying to 29. Alright. Still giving myself some time here. Let's make that turn. There's the white band, 20 notch flaps. I don't see a thing right now. I don't like this. Watch that speed and watch that altitude. I don't see where I am. Watch that speed, Tim. You can still freaking crash and you're not going to do that. That speed is dangerously close to stall. Come on. Yep, there we go. You weren't kidding, Kim. Stay focused. My gosh. Making a turn into pitch darkness. All right. Good. Runway 29. There we go.
November 118, Circle Bridge.
Watch the white band.
November 118, are you on the ground and I cancel an IFR?
There we go. Hoping that I passed the I rating. The only thing I think that in my book would make me a fail is the hold.
November 118, IFR cancellation received and to your I-7 is a pass.
I was a bit sloppy with the hold.
Affirmative.
Perhaps I made some
Have a good one.
other mistakes, but I'm not aware of those just yet. Let me first land the airplane. Coming in to San Luis, being in total blackness, no autopilot, no GPS, slant alpha flying by hand, full flaps. Coming in, guys. Landing after the threshold line. Beyond, I mean. Oh yeah.
Cessna 2 Foxtrot Hotel, contact Burbank Tower 118.7.
We made it on the center line, from one center line to the next.
Skyhawk Tango India Mike, your I-10 is a pass. Turn right next taxiway, taxi to parking via Alpha, remain this frequency, have a good day.
Thanks for the pass, and we'll taxi to the ramp up with Mike. Where's my...
Burbank Tower 72 Foxtrot Hotel.
I don't see a thing.
08.
Number 72 Foxtrot Hotel, Burbank Tower.
There's no taxiway here.
Wind 230 at 5.
Clear to land 72 Foxtrot Hotel.
Well, let's make that a pirouette. Where is the taxiway? It's so hard to see. There's a taxiway. Here it is. My gosh. Hopefully. I'm lucky that she just gave me a pass after I just made this pirouette. Alpha, alright. And we can taxi the ramp. Let's go to the tower. Or something there. The tower's here in front of us, I guess. Let's put it over here. Taxi lights on. That would have made a difference if I just turned on my taxiways before I exited the runway. My gosh. Thanks for the congrats, guys. Taxi to the ramp, yeah, taxi to the ramp via direct. That's how what it looked like over the grass. There we are. Boom! Some light into the cockpit. My gosh. Yes. Off. VFR. Off. I'd like to have a mag check. Off both. Yeah, there's a drop in the RPM. Off. There we go. Ah, my avionics were still on. Damn it. Magneto's off. And open the door. And there we are, the I-10. Yes! I'm so happy! Man! Oh, my neck is so tensed up. That was exciting. Man! Made the I-10! My freaking god. I was hyper focused, but to be honest, the holding pattern, other stuff went pretty well. I mean, I could be more precise with the needles. That for real check rides, IFR check rides, that would have certainly been a fail, I think. Thank UncertifiedPilot for a massage. Oh, I will, Taxi. I will. And she would be happy too, I think. All right, guys. Did it. I'm so happy. Disconnect. Let's have a look. I'm very curious to see my flight path into the darkness. And there we are. Can we see through the clouds the flight path? I hope so. So that's the way we came, obviously, with the procedural turn. Should I do... No, it is actually not the way to do it, I guess. Let's use the recorder. Boom. Or something like here. And then do this. And then go up. Those are the holds. And those are my strobe lights flashing in the clouds. Can I just change the... No, I cannot change the weather while I'm in replay mode, right? Weird that all of the clouds in the entire X-Plane virtual world lit up because of my strobe lights, even though I'm far away right now. Yes, I took off from Santa Barbara. I'm actually quite curious to see the hold. So let's use this warp mode. Shouldn't take us that long, I hope. Oh, there I'm flying. But then I'm going to the wrong direction. That direction. Those should be the holds, I guess. Could also just use the recorder. Man, Use the map key. Oh yeah, I can do that as well. Boom, map key. Thanks. Goes a lot quicker. Well, I stayed in the protected area, that's for sure. And you can see some wind stuff, some shortcuts. But let me just see. So yeah, from Santa Barbara, 1-5 left, captured, turned around. Kind of surprises me that we're this far apart. I mean, it's the same radial. So I guess that further confirms or emphasizes the fact how I should be more precise with my needle, I guess. My nav 1 needle. Because this seems almost like a holding pattern. And it's the same. I mean, we made a left turn, but we did capture the radial, I think. So, anyways, San Marcos. There we went. That's the inbound feeder. Then we went into the approach. Localizer, back course went pretty well. Reverse sensing as well. Low approach. Yeah, the simultaneous thing, that was a good one by Ryan. So, yeah, you can also see in the textual description there was no then. If there was climb to 2100, then turn whatever, then you know that's sequential. But there wasn't such a thing on the approach. Climb to 2100 direct. Guadalupe VOR and holds. Yeah, that's good to know. Not the same radial. It was turn left direct. Oh, that's true, Kim. That was true. We were assigned a direct. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks. Yeah, beach, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that was no problem. So then, yeah. We got Santa Maria. Went just fine. We went up. Yeah, and then the holds. So let me see. So I went like this. Yeah, and then I turned in. Yeah, so I was... This happened to me with my practice flights as well. My first entry for the parallel, I actually already make my turn to the right at 1 minute. And that doesn't buy me that much time when making that inbound turn to catch the localizer again. You ideally you would have to, you like to get just 30 seconds, 20 seconds to get yourself aligned into the inbound radial into the VOR and then make your turn. And I was very short here. You can see I didn't have that much time. So I anticipated that, perhaps also of wind, drifts and stuff. So I increased my angle of not 30 degrees, but I think it was coming in at 45 degrees or something like that. And so once the needle came, I totally overshot it. And this stuff, that is fail, I rating fail material there, because this is the protected area. This is actually where the hold is. This ATC expects us to stay in this area. Therefore, it doesn't also really matter whether we did a parallel or a teardrop entry as long as you stay in this area and make regular holding patterns. Don't get in this stuff. And I actually was for a tiny bit, not that much, but I was. So that was not pretty. Also, then I was a bit... I mean, I took my time in the hold. That was a good thing, because that helped me to just set my mind straight. I mean, it felt like being in Echo airspace, I guess it was. Like with VFR flying with the Cat 10 rating, you know, you have all the time in the world. You can just circle around there until you feel ready to make the crossing through the LAX Bravo. Well, the same goes here. I'm in the hold. I can take as much time, fuel, obviously, fuel quantity and all kinds of other stuff included, take the time to set myself up for the approach. And so I did. But because I knew that I needed to go that direction, to the north, I should have actually requested my diversion to San Luis perhaps when I was making this turn, so I could then just continue. Now I requested it once I turned back inbound to the Guadalupe vortex. So here, when I was going this direction, I was receiving that that clearance to get to San Luis, and I was still completing in my mind still completing the hold while I was actually already got clearance to fly direct to San Luis. So that wasn't that efficient. And also a tiny mistake because I was clear direct and I was still flying inbound to Guadalupe. So that's also a tiny thing. So you can time your clearance here, get a version a little bit better. There I went still. You can see from Victor 27 how far off I was. I think it was Victor 27 that we were flying, perhaps not, but could be more precise. Kim, I'm still wondering if the left turn direct cancelled the SID and therefore the altitude restriction on the chart. Ah, yes, that's a good one. So what happened here with the departure was we were flying the Flout 5 departure as instructed by PilotEdge. We were flying inbound to Flout. Flout was, I guess, somewhere around here, but the ATC controller said already once we were at, I think, around 10 nautical miles, like Tim, go direct to San Marcos. And Kim, which is a good consideration. Does that mean once we get a direct instruction by the ATC while we're still in the midst of executing the SID, does that then cancel the SID because we now get just vectors, right? Or vectors, we get new instructions by ATC which are not compliant with the SID. And so because there was a altitude restriction here, 6,000, that should then also be alleviated, and or not applicable anymore. And I think it wasn't at that point anymore. We were just flown direct to San Marcos. I was already at that altitude, just after Santa Barbara. So that was close, but I think it didn't apply. Yes, it does. Taxi, you went far away on the circling. That is subject to a fail, actually, much more than the hold. Oh, I will take a look at that. Taxi, good one. Yes, it does. When San Marcos wouldn't have been the endpoint, you might have gotten a spec to resume departure at. When San Marcos would have been the endpoint, you might have gotten a spec to resume departure at. Ah, yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, but that was a good point by Taxi. I felt that was quite close, actually, to San Luis. So Taxi, I think if I understand him correctly, we were cleared circling approach. Right, circling. Now, circling means that we can do whatever to get to the runway in a safe manner, but it doesn't mean that you can take all the room, I guess. And I've read about that somewhere, but I'm not quite familiar with the distance anymore. I know you need to stay close to the airport, but not unsafely close. And in my mind, I made a pretty safe turn to final. But I agree, perhaps I was a bit too far away from the airport. But if you look at the runway length, Beach are beautiful procedure turn though. Thanks Beach. Taxi 1.3 nautical miles very quick. The point isn't even on your route anymore once you're clear direct. San Marcos, you're on a different radial. The point isn't even on your route anymore once you're clear direct. You're on a different radial. Roger. Yeah. You've looked at A, so normal than 1.3 nautical miles. Where's that information, Taxi? That's interesting. 1.3. So it's not on the plate, right? For the circling approach, that you need to stay within 1.3. Is that in some kind of alternate, kind of other supplemental thing? I guess it is. Or is that some general default kind of thing? It is FAA. Okay, the Ryan category B. Bravo has the same minimums on this one, so one will be fine. Nothing stopping you using the higher categories either to give yourself more space. Okay, Ryan. Okay, so luckily I did well, but I wasn't aware of that all. So Taxi, thank you for making that suggestion. I wasn't aware that the circling approach obviously should keep me within the space of the airport, and obviously I noticed once I was on the left downwind and I made that turn to base, from downwind to base, and I couldn't spot the airport anymore, and I was in pitch black darkness. Yeah. perhaps I do like to see it. Ah, yeah, there we are. Yeah, so this far away. But it's a good point. Thanks. Oh yeah, Ryan, that's a good one. Yeah, so you can just use the higher categories, yeah, if you're flying safer. It doesn't have to do with the speed, I guess. Interesting, interesting. But I didn't use those minimums, so in that case I couldn't just use the category Bravo because I was already flying at 1720 or something, the category A, I think. Yeah, category... Oh no, those are the same in this case. We're using the DME minima at the bottom. I was actually flying 1700. 1120 felt quite close to the ground. Coming in, and St. Louis at night. I passed the I-10, yes! I'm so pleased. Look at those landing lights! Oh, you can hardly see, obviously. Landed. Man, I'm pleased. The thing you didn't do quite right was configure for a landing at Santa Maria. Oh, that's true, Bill. Yeah, so the reason obviously was because I knew that I was going missed. But to properly simulate that, I should have actually turned down my flaps and stuff at Santa Maria before I executed the mist. That's true. That's true. And it could have posed, obviously just posed a little bit more complexity because I needed to then reconfigure myself on the mist. So yeah, that's a fair point. I still think I would have managed still, but yeah. Very, very, very pleased. One thing that I am going to do is put this into my logbook. Santa Barbara. Yeah. St. Louis. Let's put in St. Louis. An hour, 93 nautical miles. Night landings. 1. Distance. What was it? 93. Solo. Nights. Instruments. Ooh, look at that. Cross country. Whoa. That was awesome. Passed the I-10 rating. I'm so happy and so proud. What was that, kind of an emoticon? No, this one. Okie doke. I'm very, very pleased with that. Okay. Yeah. Completes the I-10. I can't believe it still. Hoping that Mrs. Uncertified indeed is going to give me just a little bit of a neck massage because, boy, I'm tensed up. And there's also something, I guess, that I can still improve on to be a little bit more relaxed. With the yoke, I mean, I had sweaty hands, but I wasn't really death gripping my yoke, so that was good. So I can definitely notice the ease and familiarity with which I can control the airplane. Also, the instrument flight, as soon as I departed, by the way, from Santa Barbara, and I was focusing on my instruments, and I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't practice this for a very long time. That felt a little bit scary, but I think after 15 seconds or so, I felt quite at ease, which I noticed in terms of my flying. But that was really, really fun. I'm going to do the exact same thing, guys, for the I-11 rating. In IMC, at night, rain, real wet weather, but with my own cloud deck, so the real winds. And no autopilot, no GPS. And then I've actually completed my complete curriculum. Then I can safely say that I've earned my virtual instrument rating here in Flight Simulator by PilotEdge, which is really, really great. So I'm not gonna, don't know when I'm gonna do the I-11, sometime this week. Again, take a look at my Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and then you will know. And that's my final I rating, guys. And then I completed that whole IFR chunk of my season. Season 2, that's the end of Season 2. And then we're gonna start with Blender and 3D modeling and making our own little 172 to fly with. Cannot wait to start with that during the Christmas break. Guys, thank you so much again for the follows. Gitnik and Sono and Itchy and Altar for the subscription, and Andy, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Also the Kim and Ryan that are still heavily discussing whether I could have flown other categories. Guys, I appreciate your comments and guidance during the flight. Hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you at the Discord very soon. Also Taxi, thank you for your suggestions and encouragement. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks on the good luck wishes with the I-11. Cannot wait. Scampers also, well, many of you here, thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy flights and blue skies. Bye.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Hotel, Tango, Mike is 10 miles north of airport 3000. With information X-ray for a full stop, landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing, runway 310, requesting straight in for 13.
That's it.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, next straight in, runway 13 left, and clear to land. Wind is 09005.
Clear to land, runway 13 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, plus 4658 is type DC channels, land off, request clearance to Vegas S5.
This 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon, unable to give you S file, I'll be forward 7. Plus 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport. We apply Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresto. Join the Cresto 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2, 405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Palm Springs Victor 37029, Palms Victor 538, Presso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expected for 0 after 5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Pause 4658, readback is correct. Tango D Mike, taxi to Ram via Echo on this frequency.
Taxiing to the Ram via Echo and remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26, left before base.
Enter left